Okay, great. So who is DLA? DLA is the nation's combat logistics support agency, guys. One of my absolute favorites. DLA manages the global supply chain. This is so important, from raw materials to the end user, for Army, Navy, Air Force, Space Force, Coast Guard. It's either 10 or 11 combatant commands, right? They supply 86% of the military spare parts and like 100% of fuel. And so what are we talking about? What are they buying? Repair parts, food, clothing. Last month when we did this, we found opportunities for some condoms. The month before, we found a duffel bag, and literally the first day we found one, I submitted for pricing, got pricing back from the manufacturer within a few hours, and quoted it on one of the DIBBS daily. So I showed you the whole process. So medical supplies, condoms are medical supplies, by the way, guys. I knew that, but I didn't know that. But anyway, construction material, fuel, storage, all the things. It's all available on their small business site. So you can go there. All right. But look at just the enormity of the opportunity. I just want you to see this, right? So there's over 12,000 suppliers. They're making 9,000 awards per day. They manage over 6 million line items, right? Do you see all of this? And so there are different areas of DLA, and this is important for you to know, for those of you that are supplying product already, right? If you need to be talking to troop support, you need to be talking to folks at DLA Philadelphia, right? They're right on Robbins Avenue. I used to live not far from there, right? I've been to Robbins Avenue. Actually, I've won contracts at Robbins Avenue with the cleaning contracting company. We were, what did we do? We cleaned partitions. We did cubicle cleaning under a contract at Robbins Avenue, service-wise. So anyhow, you wanna know which location to speak to for what, okay? So troop support is gonna handle anything like clothing, textiles, t-shirts, all those things, right? Construction equipment comes out of troop support, medical comes out of troop support, that's all troop support, right? Then you have land and maritime. I spent most of my time working between Columbus and Richmond in terms of which one of the agencies, which one of the locations. I'll show you that in DIBBS when we get over there in just a minute, all right? But all the repair parts and construction and all of that, you'll see that in troop support, land and maritime, and then you'll also see again in aviation. So those first three is where I spend most of my time, right there. And then of course you have, distribution, because remember, DIBBS, DLA is not just buying, right? They have basically like three functions, right? They buy, and they buy for their end users, right? So they're always going to be buying, but then they also house, right? So they house material in the warehouse because they're always ready in time of war and something happens. So they're warehousing materials, and they're moving materials, right? So they're doing all three of these things. So some of the buys that we'll see in DIBBS are not for an end user right away. It could be to replenish stock, like things that they have to keep in stock. And so so there are different functions, all right, without getting too deep. I do have a course on this. You're gonna get a lot for free now over these next 3 days. So I hope you're taking notes. Right. So what is DIBBS? So we know who the DLA is, right? They're under the agency, under the Department of Defense, and they are the Defense Logistics Agency under Department of Defense, right? But what is DIBBS? You hear me saying, I got DIBBS, DIBBS. DIBBS is an acronym. It stands for the DLA Internet Bid Board System. Okay, it is a web-based application. In fact, that's one of Serena's favorite features, is that it's a web-based application. Why is that a favorite feature? Because it's a web-based application, meaning I don't need paper or pencil. Actually, I mean, everything that I do is done on that one system, and my quote is submitted on one electronic page, okay? So it's a web-based system. You can quote from anywhere. We'll talk about, again, what DIBBS is not as well, okay? Because I wanna make that distinction. And so it's a web-based application. It allows the vendor community to search, view, and submit secure quotes for RFQs. RFQs fall under simplified acquisitions. If you don't know about simplified acquisitions, all of the things that we do in the Mission 500K community, which I'll tell you about later, that's all I teach on is FAR Part 13, simplified acquisitions, all, and that's that threshold let me slow down. That threshold is $250,000 and below, okay? So what we're going to look at today are opportunities that fall under the simplified acquisition procedure, okay? Or the simplified acquisition threshold. So the 5 features we're going over the next 3 days, because this is day 1, and I want you to come back day 2 and 3 with friends, okay? No technical proposal, so we'll go over that. The T quotes and SPE quotes, those are my favorite. You know why? Because they are system generated awards, right? Meaning no contracting officer or buyer actually has to lay hands on it at all or make the approving decision. The system does. And so, of course, based on price and based on delivery and certain parameters that are set, but T quotes is when a T is in the 9th position. I'll show you that. And that means it is in auto quotes, okay? It's automatic quote, right? The procurement history is in the solicitation. Oh my gosh, how many times have you tried to bid on something and you're like, I wonder what they paid before, right? So there are plenty of people who wonder, you know, about history, like, you know, how do I know what the government is willing to pay? Well, in DIBBS, the award history is right inside the solicitation, okay? So we'll see that. We'll also go through a 1-page quote before these 3 days are over. I'm going to see if I can find something to quote, period. That's what I plan to do. And then right in the middle, you see volume of opportunities. So we're going to take a look at that today, just the amount of opportunities that are available each and every day, because we can search by date. Okay, so these are the things that we're going to cover over these next 3 days, my favorite features. Additional features, like I said, RFQs are under 250,000. There is another side of DIBBS, which I'll pull up on the screen in just a sec, where there are requests for proposals. That's 250 and over. We are not going for service opportunities in DIBBS daily. I have never, well, no, I can't say I've never provided a service to DLA, because I have with the cleaning, but I've never gone through a service opportunity through DIBBS, okay? And why am I saying that? I'm saying that because Serena's whole thing is like, I only teach you what I've done. I don't teach you what I read, what I heard, what somebody else did, what I think may work. I only teach you what I've done. So if I didn't do it, I'm not going to try to teach it, because that's just the way I roll. 1, 2, if I know where to point you, I'll point you in the right direction, but I'm not about to lie to you, okay? T quotes, price history, we went over that. Modifications, you can modify your quotes after they're submitted. That's a little advanced, and we'll get into that too. So let's go to DIBBS. Some reason I feel like I'm missing a slide, and I am. I have a slide that says what DIBBS is not. So this is not Amazon drop ship, people. It's not Amazon drop ship. So you will not find product and then just drop ship it to a depot. You're not going to be able to do that here. Okay. This is not get rich quick. And so I'm looking for a quick win by tomorrow. Okay, well, you know, there are opportunities on here that are awarded same day, right? But this is not get rich quick. None of this is. This is about positioning your company with one of my favorite support agencies, okay? So it's not drop ship. It's not like Unison Global. I teach on that. So I teach my students how to go into Unison Global for fast buys. That's not this. DIBBS is one of the many ways that you can win without writing proposals, okay? So we're gonna... Was that good or what? I am so glad that you took the time to watch that video. And listen, we have goodies for you. Don't forget to look inside of the description box, because there are other ways that we can stay connected and you can continue to learn and grow with us, okay? And then also make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Tell me what your greatest takeaway was from today's video. Tell me where you're from. Let's connect, okay? I want to see you go get it. So let's go get it.